And we're up. I think we're synced. Everything looks like it's working. I'm
Are
just
we?
always going to talk about things working when they work because more often than
It's
not, they
sketch.
don't. Right? Feel like I'm going to jinx it one of these days.
And then we're
Ooh.
not gonna be working. I
Ooh.
know we can
My
hear.
sound's on. Where's my sound coming from? Stop. Okay,
You
sorry about
too?
that. Yeah, that was my YouTube window. All right. How you doing? You weren't here last week. How was your date? Did it go better than Leo's?
I probably just as good as Leo's. I don't think
That's
I'll be seeing her
that does
again,
not
so
sound
it's
promising.
alright. No, I mean, it was cool. It was cool. She was a cool lady, but she's like, "Hey, we should just be friends." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm feeling that too." She
Oh,
was
that
a
sucks,
real,
but
a real tomboy.
Uh, let's see who we got here in the chat. We've got Thomas Franco, whose birthday it is this weekend. Happy birthday, Thomas Franco.
Happy
Alexis
birthday.
Botello Vegas. Sorry, I cannot pronounce your last name. I'm horrible with that kind of stuff. Edward Sanchez, how's it going? Donnie Pearson, good to see you. Hopefully, we'll see you next during the Star Trek show as well. And Isaiah Rodriguez and Jared Hodges and Ingrid Spotsky. We've actually got a pretty good group this week, which is good. But also at the same time, I feel like I don't have a lot to say about these episodes, so maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they're really to the point.
Yeah, I mean, especially that second episode, episode 38. What was it? Until Sunset.
Oh yeah, there's nothing to talk about.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we could
I
jump
guess
right into these.
there are some things I wanted to talk about.
Oh
Some
yeah,
because
you weren't since you
yeah.
weren't here last week. Let's get your thoughts on those episodes.
Okay, so real quick, turn up the volume. Just a comment. There's a gee, I should have looked up this man's name. I meant to do it, but I forgot. But one of the hard hats, Damon. There's a bunch of hard hats when the things were going out of control and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys was the stuntman for the Blue Ranger in Mighty Morphin, and I worked with him on. He was the director on the Order,
Oh
so
really?
I worked with him. I forget his name. I'm mad. I should look it up. I was thinking about it and I didn't look it up. I forgot that man's name. And
It's
then get it on to
hmm.
Enter the Lost Galaxy. Jesus. Oh, there's the part where Deviat, when he mutated.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Ginga Man version, but he was real like in the Sentai footage. He's real like he's melting. So I was always curious to know what actually happened to him, in that version.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught the discussion that Elle and I had about him, but I felt like in that episode, the
Mhm.
difference between the American footage and the Sentai footage was extremely noticeable. Like when
Oh
they
yeah,
when they shifted the shot and you saw him in that transformed shape, like it almost looked like they were shifting from a from like shooting on video and like regular like TV show style to like a movie. Like it looked like the lens had changed. Like the whole thing looked just so much more different than it usually does.
yeah. The contrast, it was like almost darker.
Yeah, it was really weird. I still can't really peg what made it feel that different, but
Hmm.
it was just very jarring going from one to the other. Like maybe it felt like it was being shot in like a widescreen format that was just then cut off. I don't know. It was really weird.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what they shoot with out there because the footage always is always different. Even up to I wouldn't say it stopped being noticeable until the Neo Saban era, but it's always noticeable.
Right. Well, I
And
mean,
I don't.
once they moved to high def, I'm sure it looked a lot more, um, a lot. the similarities were a lot closer between the Japanese footage and the American footage when they were shooting in 1080p versus when they were shooting on who knows what.
Whatever Fuji film.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the difference. It legit looked like the Sentai footage was shot on film, while the American footage looked like it was shot on like video or,
Yeah,
like they did
looks like.
with like what are the other TV shows that they shot back in the 90s.
But yeah, so uh, Enter the Lost Galaxy. There's no information on this Guardian guy. He comes ass out of nowhere. Um,
How do you feel about the members of Space Force being called Guardians?
I mean, it sounds cool, but I'm not.
I don't want to get into like any of the political shit. Just like the name itself. Like is
Okay,
that
because I was going to get political.
like I
But
like if you want to get into that, like we can talk about that on Twitter, not outside of this, but because I definitely have thoughts, but like just for the name, like a lot of people were
I mean,
comparing
what are
it
they
to
guarding from space?
right, like I don't know, it Starfighters would have been better.
I mean, who are you
Come on,
fighting? I
the
don't
enemies.
know. What enemy? There's no alien invasion.
Listen. Trump is always talking about the illegal aliens. So,
Uh,
I mean,
I didn't know he was talking about Martians. I didn't know he was talking about Martians. I'm sorry.
So Destiny reference or Guardians of the Galaxy reference? What do you think? Or neither?
Uh,
Do you think they like that didn't even occur to them?
no, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they just wanted something cool. Let's call them Guardians. Ah.
I don't know. Like Space Marines, like that could have been a thing.
I don't know. Like, what are they
Space
doing?
Marines were were the Space Marines StarCraft, or was that
Wasn't that
something else?
the one
The which one?
Starship Troopers? Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But here we are at the present. We're what? Beware the mutiny, Grunchor on the loose, and until sunset. Oh
Well,
wait, Beware the
Beware
mutiny
the
was
Mutiny
last week,
was the last
right?
one from last week. Yeah. Our first one this
Oh
week was
yeah.
Grunchor.
About Captain Mutiny, his name in Japan is Captain Zahab, like Ahab.
You're right. I mean, that would have made more
And
sense because, like, again, like Captain Mutiny. Like, I feel like there would have been that discussion like John Cena was having in Bumblebee, where he was like, "Their name is Decepticons. I don't think we can trust them." It's like right in their name, and they're like, "Yeah, Captain Mutiny, we'll trust him. Sure,
I
not a
guess
problem."
so. But he was the main villain in Ginga Man, and
Okay.
his main purpose, Titanosaur. The Japanese name is Ditanix, and their sole purpose was to I guess get fuel or try to find a way to revive him because you know how he rises as stone and then he breaks
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the whole season progress. Like they'll feed him stuff to try. First he broke away the stone,
Okay.
and then they had to wake him up, and then we seen that in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That
And
was like
like
half
to
the
me
season.
that it kind of felt like gargoyles, like with them
Yeah,
like
when they
breaking
go
out
to
of the
sleep.
stone or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
but like I don't know. It felt like it just kind of came like this whole Lost Galaxy thing just kind of came out of nowhere. Uh,
yeah,
so I don't know.
yeah. That's now if you think back to when they found Marinoid and the space
Yeah.
surrounding it, it looked like the Lost Galaxy. So
Right.
when they find Marinoid, they find it in the Lost City. So then it makes sense. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But something happened with production. I don't know. Maybe we can get some of those people to hunt them down. Hey, what happened? I don't remember. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. I guess that's the This way, I
But
don't know. So Grunchor,
Grunchor,
like tell me about Grunchor. Who was Grunchor in Gigaman?
Ginga Man,
Ginga Man.
Grunchor was a piece of Titanosaur. So when they defeated Titanosaur and Gingaman, this is like the last 5 or a few episodes. This is way at the end of Gingaman. So when they defeat Titanosaur, a piece of him falls into the earth, and that becomes Grunchor. So
Okay.
Grunchor on the Loose is like the last 2 episodes of Gigaman. It's like the finale. So that's why it
Interesting.
seems so intense.
Yeah. It kind of felt out of place a little bit. And then again, I mean, I know I know what it is, but just like him burrowing down into the
The Earth,
ground, I was like, wait, they're on a space station. Like, wouldn't he just like go down like a few feet and then
he just being
be?
metal.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I mean, like I said,
I don't
I
know.
think they just terraformed some parts of the colony. So there's Earth on the
Yeah, but
space
there
station, a
can't be
nice
like
chunk of it.
that much of it.
I don't know. It seems like a lot. Look at it.
Let me see here. I've got. I'm gonna pop up because yeah, our background here is the space station. Let me hide everything else that I've got here. Okay, I'm gonna push that over. It looks like it's like a coruscant,
Yeah.
I guess.
What? Oh, the planet Star Wars,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was thinking about a croissant.
Hungry?
I was like, a little bit.
I'm gonna hop over the chat here really quick. Alexis is asking about adapting Q Ranger after Dino Fury. Maybe I don't know what's happening with
No,
the.
you see the current. You seen Super Sentai 2021? It don't
Is
even
that?
look like Super Sentai at all.
Yeah. It looks kind of like I saw the still. It looks kind of like a Transformers type thing almost.
Yeah, it looked like some old stuff they used to do way back in the 80s in a Common Rider. I'm like, what is going on? Like I see the references now because it's like Gold Ranger and Big One like kind of merged together, and
Right.
like all the mechas are kind of uh homaging old ones, but it's still wild as wild as it's wild. It's crazy. So
Yeah,
nah,
I don't know.
done.
We'll
Hasbro's
see.
done.
Like as of right now, as far as we know, after Dino Fury, they won't be adapting another previous Sentai season, and they'll be either making their own stuff or Power Rangers might be going on hiatus for a little while until the stuff with Jonathan Entwistle and Brian Hill come into fruition. We'll just have to see how long all that actually takes to actually come to fruition. Let's see what else we got here. They're talking about the Space Corps instead of Space Marines or Starfighters or Guardians. Thomas Franco has a couple of beers ready to go for his birthday tomorrow. Isaiah is asking what we thought about the Beast Morphers finale. Um, I am so far behind. I'm not even. I've seen a couple of
Oh,
episodes of
it
Beast Morphers, but I'm by no means caught up.
it was fine. I watched it when it came out super early. I haven't watched it on air here yet in America, but it was I felt it could have been better.
Yeah.
Yes, it could have been a lot better because the all the I don't know spoilers if you haven't watched it yet, but all the RPM stuff just comes ass out of nowhere, and there was no lead up to it. It's just kind of vengeance. I'm like, wait, what? you know, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
tease. There was nothing to indicate that that's where it was going. It just kind of just boop, out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
don't
that's
know.
what kind of bothered me with it. That's just the writing of the Neo Sabat era period.
Right,
It's
right.
just
Well, we
things
will
just happen.
we will be there on this show in about 4.5 years. So feel free to come back and discuss it with us then, um, if I'm still around. I'm sure, I'm sure I will be. Let's see what else we got in there. Blackwing says that Grunchor is a scary looking monster. I agree. I think the costume was pretty good. Um, like later on in the episode when he was spewing whatever was coming out of his mouth onto the car, that looked a little weird.
Yeah,
The costume itself was pretty solid.
it was one of my favorites. Grunge.
Jared Hodges says that Gruncher reminds him of a gremlin, um, after he grew with a like a snake with a head. And then Blackwing is asking you to confirm that you didn't like the RPM twist.
Oh, I did. It was just random. I felt it was just random.
I don't know. I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
That's, mhm.
but overall, like what about this Grunchor episode stood out? Like outside of the changes from the Ginga Man episode to this one, what kind of stood out to you? That was good or bad or just kind of yeah, or things that you
Um,
wish they had done differently.
it was just a lot of the fighting. In one scene where with Barbarax when he teleports away, you could see Grunt in Kingdom and Grunger eats them. So if you look closely in the Japanese footage, you can see Barbarax in his mouth. But it was a cool it was a cool episode. I like a lot of the fighting and a lot of the things I have to say is just comparing it to Ginga Man. So there was really it was just really chasing Grunger this whole episode,
Yeah,
just chasing him down.
I didn't understand the scanner thing. Like how did Deviat have control of him through the scanner? I thought it was just scanning to tell them where it
To
was.
check where he was.
Yeah,
I,
because like when the Rangers grabbed it away from him, they were like, "Oh, you don't have control over him anymore." I was like, "Did he have control over him?" Like
yeah,
I didn't quite get that.
I didn't get it either. I
I don't know.
still I like this episode, so I ignore it.
All right. Well, then you're probably not going to like these. These are what fandom says are the errors. So,
Oh,
as we've done in the past weeks, I've kind of gone through these and been like, that's not really an error. That's just a thing in the episode. So now I'm going to rely on you to tell me whether these are actual legit errors or whether someone is just being like, this is the thing.
mm, nitpicky.
Uh, all right. So while the Rangers are shocked to see Deviat on Terra Venture aiding Grunchor, they don't seem shocked that he's alive despite having destroyed him in Enter the Lost Galaxy. They didn't really destroy him though, did they?
No, because he blew up and then he ran away.
Right.
Is that
Did they
what
not see
happened?
him run away now? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I have to go. Go on to the
Well,
next one.
we could ask the chat. Chat. Did the Rangers see Deviat run away at the end of Enter the Lost Galaxy? Let us know. Um, it's stated that Leo is using all of his energy at one point and is shown to be in pain, but at that moment he'd been using the Condor Galactizord's missile launch attack, not his firepower, so it shouldn't have affected him. Is that correct?
He wasn't in pain. He was just weak. It's just like if you run and you're not drinking
Like
enough,
you're like
so dehydrated.
we just like out of breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was just kind of like, oh man, I'm feeling a little weak. He wasn't in pain, but
Uh,
yeah, that shouldn't stop him from calling another attack.
I don't.
you know.
I don't know. Oh, Layla Nolan is here with a super chat of $5. Thank you very much, Layla. She says, popping in on my last 15-minute break before I clock out in the next 20 minutes. So I'm assuming you're at work. Thank you for popping in while we are here. We really appreciate it. And come back and see us again.
Oh, you know
Uh,
what? I'm looking at it right now. he blows up, and then they go
Right.
straight to the galaxy book, and then they're in the Lost Galaxy.
Oh,
And then
so they
next,
don't see him run away.
yeah, so the next time we see Deviant, he just strolls up into the pirate ship.
Okay, so that
So that is a little.
yeah,
He's like, wait, what?
I'll go along with that one. When Leo destroys Grunchor, he calls out Galaxy Firepower. When in previous episodes where he's used the power with the Lion Galactazord, he calls out Galactic Firepower.
So
So he says Galaxy Firepower instead of Galactic Firepower. So maybe that was just him flubbing the line and they kept it in.
but what the last time he used it, he said Galaxy Firepower.
When he destroys
Wait, all right, read it
Grunchor,
again. Read it
okay,
one more time.
when Leo destroys Grunchor, he calls out Galaxy Firepower. In previous episodes, when he's used that power with the Lion Galactazord, he says Galactic Firepower.
That tells you the difference right there. Because he's with the galaxy, his Galacta Beast, and he's using his firepower. But now he's in the Galaxy Megazord, Galaxy Firepower, Galactazord, Galacta Firepower.
So we're going with not an error.
It's not an error, dude. Everybody knows that.
And finally, the last error, when Grunchor is being destroyed, the Rangers tell Leo to keep going with his power. However, by that point, he'd stopped emitting his flames, as seen with the fact that the three Megazords are standing next to each other, watching Grunchor burn up with no further fire being emitted by the Galaxy Megazord. So it sounds like that one's a timing issue.
Yeah, it's just timing because you can't see everything at the same time when you're watching. You only got two eyes and there's one lens. You only can watch one thing at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into the chat, Blackwing says he doesn't remember he watched Lost Galaxy early in the year, but he doesn't try to remember every single detail. But we kind of covered that already. You said that the error is correct, that they didn't. It's not really an error though. It's just kind of a thing. Like say calling it an error that they weren't surprised isn't necessarily an error. That's just a writing
Yeah, that's just
thing. That's just them not being
it's not an
surprised.
error. Yeah.
An
I mean,
error would be if he actually had died and then came back.
you know, you see like how when Damon told Leo, he was like, "Hey, I had a dream and my jet jammer got beat up," and then Leo goes to the mega ship and sees that the jet jammer was beat up. It didn't take him not 1 second. It was like, "Oh man, something's going on with dreams." No, I mean, weird stuff
Yeah.
goes on with them all the time. So if someone they destroy comes back up, they're like, "Oh, hey, guy, we gotta beat you again. Let's go."
I thought we killed you.
Yeah.
Notes. These are not errors. These are just random notes. When Grunchor moves about under the streets, it's similar to the movement of the Graboids and Tremors. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Because when they move through the ground, you kind of see the ground cracking and lifting up a little bit underneath them. The Defender Zord is now armed with the Defender Axe rather than its lance, as in previous appearances. This continues to be its main weapon following this episode. Is that due to the Sentai and how that all worked out in there?
Yeah, he got a special weapon in Gingham. I forgot what it was used for, but they um Magna Defender never got it, so they just ignored it.
Let's see here. What is next for notes? The Galaxy Megazord uses the Condor Galactazord missile launch attack for the first and only time while powered by the lights of Orion.
Yes.
This marks the final time that the Galaxy Megazord uses the Condor Galactazord as a missile mode.
Most likely.
Yeah, we'll go with yes because there's only like 6 episodes left. And Deviant joins the Mutiny's crew in this episode. How is that a note? Like, obviously, we saw him.
I mean, I guess it's just notating that it happened.
Yeah, but that to me, that kind of feels like if I'd put in the intro song for Power Rangers Lost Galaxy played during this episode. Like, if you watch the episode, it's kind of obvious that happens. Like I
Yeah,
don't know that that's really a note that's worth pointing out. It's just a plot point.
yeah, yes, it's yeah because saying that the Condor missile mode was used for the first time while in power up mode.
Right.
That's a note
That's right.
because then you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, because he only used it without the lights of Orion.
Right. It's just funny. So I guess that takes us to the end of our discussion on episode number 37. Grunchor attacks. Is that what it was called, or something like that?
Grunchor under the loose.
Grunchor on the loose. People of the chat, please give us your ratings. Let us know what you thought. Give us any direct notes that you have about this episode, things that you like, things that you didn't like. And while they're doing that, Corey, give me your final thoughts and numerical value of choice to rate this episode.
Grunchor on the loose, 10 out of 10. It's my favorite episode. One of my favorite episodes in Lost Galaxy.
Is it really?
Yes, if I'm watching Lost Galaxy, I go straight to this one.
So why is this episode one of your favorites?
I just like intense battles in Super Sentai.
So it has absolutely nothing to do with the story. You just like people fighting, swords, blasting.
Oh, yes, that's all. I don't care about what's going on.
I mean, that's acceptable. That's acceptable. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was again with as you said, the battles in this episode were pretty good. The suit, the actual Grunchor suit looked really good, really menacing. There were some aspects of the episode where I was just like, okay, cool. Like the storyline in it was kind of whatever, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Like nothing in the episode didn't make any sense to me. As a whole, I understood how we got from point A at the beginning of the episode to point B at the end of the episode. The stuff with Grunchor digging down into the city itself, whatever. It's Power Rangers, as Blackwing says. So, but yeah, I will give it a 4 out of 5, or using your scale, that would be 8 out of 10. In the chats, we have Layla Nolan's birthday is coming up as well. Happy birthday, Layla. Or belated happy birthday. It's already passed, sorry. We've got Jonathan, who gives it a 3 out of 5. Black Wolf Inc. It's a new face in here. It just says that it's been a long time since we've seen any of these episodes. Thomas Franco gives it a 4. And it looks like that's all we have for the ratings right now. If ratings continue to come in, we can pull back to those in the 2 minutes that we're going to be talking about the next episode until sunset. Because I don't know how I feel about recapping a recap episode.
Yeah, it happened. There's one thing, that monster is not from Ginga Man. I don't know where that monster came from. That fish, swordfish looking monster.
Yeah.
Almost look like something from Beetleborgs or something like that.
Let me see if I can find out here. We'll see if
there's nothing in the notes.
Let me see.
Ranger Wiki.
Pull up until sunset. Notes and errors. Let's go with the notes first. The first one is going to blow you away. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
This episode is a clip show.
Oh, well, it's not. I didn't know.
I did not notice that. This episode is the only episode out of the season outside of clips to take place entirely away from Terra Venture. Now that's interesting. I did not realize that was the case.
It didn't take place away from Terra, because then when they came out of, oh yes, I'm thinking about the episode after this. Never mind. Okay.
And now I'm trying to think. I don't remember any other episodes where we didn't see anything on Terra Venture. Like even the episode where they got the Galacta book, a lot of that episode took place off of Terra Venture because they were on the ship. But I think we saw Terra Venture at least like once or twice throughout the course of the episode.
Yeah, this whole episode took place away from Terra Venture, because when they leave, they can be gone for most of the episode, but then they always come back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then aside from flashbacks, besides Leo and Damon, the only Rangers who the other Rangers only appear unmorphed at the very end of the episode with very few lines each.
Mm.
Errors. The episode takes place on Captain Mutiny's planet, but at the end of the previous episode, Kai stated he could no longer find it for them to go back. I don't know that that's so much an error, because in the conversation that Damon and Leo were having, they made it obvious that they had found how to get there, and that one of them was supposed to tell the rest of the team that they were going.
Yeah, yeah, but it's also like when they entered the Lost Galaxy, like the navigation is all jank, and the Lost Galaxy isn't normal space, so I'm sure that planet is just poop poop, it's just popping around all over the place, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
It's just moving around.
maybe Damon figured out a way to
Yeah, he
get
tracked it
there.
down that one time, and he's like, "Hurry up,
Yeah,
guys!"
let's go, let's
But
go.
then it's just gone, you know.
When the other Rangers arrive, Carone cuts the chains tying Leo and Damon to the post, but their hands are still chained. Moments later, their hands are completely free with no sign of the chains. That's a continuity error. I'll give them that one. And even though this is a clip show, it never actually revealed what happened and caused Damon and Leo to be chased by the Swabbies. They landed on the planet. I'm gonna guess that
That's
was
true.
what caused them to be chased. Was that they showed up there?
Yeah, yeah, they showed up there and then they got caught.
Yeah. Because what the beginning of the episode was them just like running away, right?
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
don't know
So
why they're there. Yeah, but it's just
I don't know that really matters. It's just
it doesn't.
it's like any other episode where you're jumping in the middle of the action. The only difference this time is we didn't really have a flashback to see what happened. We're giving context around it. Um,
Let me
yeah.
pause the conversation quick. Black Wing is asking about uh my morpher. He asked me if it was the Aura Changer or the Magna Defender morpher, and I said it was
Okay.
both, because this is the Aura Changer, the Artisan, and this is the Magna Defender morpher. You
It's a
can
little
see
bit
they're the
smaller.
same. Yeah, but I only use this because this one talks. It doesn't make the standard sounds like this one does. So I use this from the Magna Defender morpher, and I use the other half of the Aura Changer, so I can just have a regular Aura Changer that doesn't talk to me.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
So going back to the chat really quick. These are more ratings that are flowing in for the previous episode. Donnie Pearson gives it a 10 out of 10. So he's with you. Jared Hodges gives it a 3. I'm assuming that's a 3 out of 5, not a 3 out of 10, but we'll see. Isaiah gives it a 9 out of 9 because this is his favorite episode. So he is with you on that as well. And Alexis would like us to tell Hasbro not to split from Toei. I actually am
Please
kind
do it.
of, yeah, I'm
I
kind
want
of
him
on
to do
board
it.
with that. I think they can take inspiration from Sentai and still use aspects of it without directly adapting the series themselves, because like realistically when you're watching these episodes, there is almost, outside of the monsters existing and the footage being used, there's nothing of the original Sentai seasons that really translates over, is there?
Well, there's some story, but not a lot. It's still mainly original. It's an original story inspired by the Super Sentai.
Right. So like I don't see why they couldn't take the actual storyline, like instead of taking the footage, take the, because let's look at some other like live action shows. The Office started in England, came over to the United States. We didn't use British footage cut in with the American footage of The Office. They just took the storyline and adapted it for an American audience. The Departed, the movie with Mark Wahlberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, all those cats. That was an adaptation of a Korean movie. we didn't cut in the Korean footage from the movie. It was all American footage. It was just they adapted the story for an American audience. I don't see why Hasbro couldn't do that with the Sentai stuff as well. Take the storyline so they can actually stay, and if they did that, they could actually stick a little bit closer to the storylines if they really wanted to.
Well, it's like what they were doing with the second half of Mighty Morphin in season one, but they had Sentai footage,
Right.
but this was Sentai footage made just for America. And they were going to do it again for season two. We was going to get another version of a new version of a Dino Megazord, but they decided not to do that, and they just went with the Thunderzords because we were supposed to get new Dinozords and the Tigerzord, which transformed similar to the Dragonzord. So then the dinosaurs combined with the Tigerzord as opposed to having the Thunderzords.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so this is something. Making original content was something that was always in the blood of Power Rangers, but they just took the cheaper way out.
Right. And Hasbro has the money to do the whole thing. And really, I kind of want to know how much cheaper it actually really is. Because if we're getting all the suits, Hasbro can afford the CGI. So like all of the Zord battles with the big Zord battles with the big monsters, that can all be done in computer graphics. Because like if you look,
but
if what was it, the last Transformers show, the War for Cybertron, that stuff looked really good. And I feel like if they took that style of animation and mixed that with like live background, like if they shot plates with using real life background footage and then use that kind of CGI
I get
power,
what you.
then whether it's a giant Megazord fighting whatever, they can actually have the mouth moves on the monster and it'll look more realistic. Maybe that's not what people want. Maybe people still want things that look like someone fighting in a cardboard suit. But I don't know. I think it could look
I
better.
mean, I do. But I think they should just go animated, so that way they have complete control over everything. If an actor decides they want to be silly, we don't have to recast. You can just change the voice on a person, and it's not a problem. You
Right,
know,
right.
and these
I mean,
people
I
like
mean, an
cartoon
animated
characters
show
can't
would do
die.
good too because like Netflix, what was it, Ultraman, Voltron, like those shows look really good.
Mm-hmm. So
And
like,
Transformers: War for Cybertron looks really good. The guys who are doing Star Trek Prodigy, the new animated show that's going to Nickelodeon, they're using the studio that does the animation for Troll Hunters, which also is
oh
another show
yeah,
that
yeah.
it has a very distinct style, but it looks really good.
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. We've still got like 3 years before we actually get something new
Yeah, because
past
we
Dino
have
Fury.
2 years of Dino Fury, and yeah, so
I
we
mean
probably won't
that's
know until after that.
yeah, that gives us plenty of time. I like the stuff that's happening with Brian Hill and Jonathan Entwistle. I don't know whether that's going to come up before Dino Fury ends or if that's going to be the next thing after Dino Fury ends. We just kind of have to wait and see what we can find out about it and what Hasbro actually announces on
Yeah,
their own.
because it sounds like they're making a whole universe with something for kids and adults, but they're still in the same universe. You
Yeah,
know?
which is fine.
Yeah.
Again, going back to Star Trek, you have Star Trek Prodigy, which is coming out. It's going to be on Nickelodeon, so it's clearly going to be targeting a younger demographic than something like Picard or Discovery or even Lower Decks, which is from the Rick and Morty people are, and that's another
Yeah.
animated show. So I think that there's plenty of room for adult content to live in the same world as kids content. I mean, Snoop Dogg has been on Sesame Street, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's move on to this last episode we got here. This is
Dream
episode
Battle.
39, Dream Battle. What did you think about this one?
This is obviously just using leftover footage, just to fill in the hole. This seems like this feels like something somebody didn't do their job and they had to put something together real quick. This is what this episode feels like.
Like
Because they just took
last minute they were like, "Oh man, we need one more episode."
Yeah, or somebody got fired and then work didn't get done. So they just took footage from episodes that they didn't use and footage from episodes they did use them as a dream battle, and then put a story over it.
Right. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what they did, or maybe they took the last episode, the Until Sunset, which was a recap. They were like, okay, how can we put as little? We need 2 more episodes for the season. How can we do this and use as little work as possible to do it?
As little effort as possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't. This episode to me was just kind of there. I didn't see anything special about it. It was kind of boring. I found myself getting distracted throughout the entire thing. I was like sweeping my floor and paying some bills and doing some other stuff.
This is boring. I'm gonna sweep my floor.
I don't know. Let's go through the notes and see if like anything here actually stands out and is worth putting some discussion time into. Let's see here. Notes. After Nightmare is defeated by the Green Ranger, Nightmare is briefly seen drinking the growing elixir. I don't know how that's I don't know how that's a note because we can clearly see that in the episode.
Yeah, but
do they typically cut out the monsters drinking the elixir now?
Yeah, it was a thing early on in the season, and they just cut it out. But in Gingaman, they did it all through the season.
Okay, so I guess that's worthy of a note if it's something that we hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, someone did cut fast enough.
This is the first Power Rangers episode to have the Rangers fall into a dream dimension. The second being Dino Thunders in Your Dreams. This is also the second Power Rangers episode where a scheme involved sleep and the dream world. The first is Zio's Rockabye Power Rangers, and the third one is Samurai's Broken Dreams.
No, Goldar attacked the dreams in Mighty Morphin.
I don't remember that. It's been so long since I've seen Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, they went capping, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna attack the Rangers in dreams and give them nightmares." They're always doing that in Mighty Morphin.
Okay, so we're gonna say this is not a good note.
No, this is not the first time they got attacked in their dreams. What the hell?
It's a bad note. Bad note, Power Rangers fandom. This episode is similar to Mighty Morphin's Crystal of Nightmares, with the exception that the Rangers are not afraid and didn't lose confidence. So those two notes kind of contradict each other, I guess?
Yeah, that's the episode I was talking about.
Unless they weren't in a nightmare? Was it a hallucination?
I don't remember. I need to go back and watch it. But yeah, they're all weak, and then they had to get their confidence back.
I do kind of remember that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember any specifics, but like the general idea, that does kind of ring a bell.
And then there's a whole episode, Trini's dog. That was a whole dream episode. It was just her having a dream, but it was still a dream episode.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Although he appears, Mike remained unmorphed throughout this episode. That sounds accurate. And this episode features 2 actors from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. I don't know who those 2 actors are, and it would have been nice if they had actually put that information into this note. If any of you guys in the chat know who those are, Blackwing, please let us know.
Was it Terry? Was the Terry girl?
I don't know.
It was.
Let's jump into the errors, and we'll see if any of these were actually errors or, again, just things that they're pointing out that happened. When Deviat told Hexuba she was all talk, he was holding the remote he'd given to Hard to Choke in the Lost Galactabeats Part 2. Is that an error, or did he just have a remote?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, he lost it, so I guess that could be an error if it was... I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't notice it.
During the Megazord fight, the Rangers call upon the Stratoforce Megazord, but the Centaurus Megazord appears instead. That would indeed be an error.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the dream spell was broken, the Rangers still remained trapped in the dream dimension until Nightmare was destroyed. Is that an error, or was that just how the spell worked?
Yeah, yeah. It seemed like I don't know. It was weird because, like I said, they were using the Sentai footage and they're using it out of. They're forcing it to be something it's not. So when they were dreaming, and then the dream is like, oh, the dream is broken. We're awake now. So they were still in a dream, or were they transported to reality and then back to? Because then they woke up after.
Yeah, I don't know. Thomas Franco says that it was Walter Jones and Raja, and that they voiced monsters. They were the voice of the monsters.
Oh, oh yeah, okay.
Blackwing. That's basically what we were asking. The fandom notes say that two previous Rangers from Mighty Morphin and Alien Rangers appeared in this episode, but we weren't sure who they were. Let's see. And the last error is when Leo reads the card that comes with the flowers, he repronounces Corone as Coron instead of as Corone. Okay,
I didn't notice that.
that's
I didn't notice that at all.
that sounds really nitpicky. That like that could just be his speech.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
I mean, at least
What's
he didn't call
word?
it Karen.
Yeah, Karen. They Maya has a habit of saying quasar instead of quasar.
Yeah.
Quasar sabers.
It's like we're gonna go hang out at the crick.
The creek.
People are throwing pizza up on Walter White's roof.
Roof. Rough. Yeah, but I get what you mean.
What other weird language idiosyncrasies are there? Oh, people when growing up in Pennsylvania, people called soda pop,
Yeah.
and everything was Coke. Like hey, you want a Coke? Sure. Well, what kind? Sprite.
What do you mean?
Like Coke.
Coke is a brand. What do you mean?
What else do people say up there? Crowns instead of crayons.
Cranes? Crayons?
Crowns. That was a weird thing. I don't know. So ratings, people of the chat, Ranger Nation, all of you guys that are sitting there watching us talk about this, let us know what you thought about these episodes and what you would score them. And while they're doing that, Corey, let's hear yours.
I'm gonna do it out of 5, and I'm gonna give it like a 3.
So that's 6 out of 10.
I guess yes.
Did anything stand out to you? Did you overall enjoy the episode? Did you not like it? What
Yeah, again, this
final
was
thoughts?
just a fun episode because I just, like I said, I just like the fighting. Like I told you before we started, I was like, I'm just going back and watching the fights.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I am going to give this a 2.5 out of 5, or a 5 out of 10, or I guess 50 out of 100. It was it was a passable episode. Like I said before, I found it kind of boring. I was getting distracted, and it was just kind of there. There was nothing special about it to me, but there was nothing that stood out that was especially bad either. It was just it exists. Going into the chat, Blackwing also adds that Delphine, the actress who was Delphine, voiced Hexaba.
Oh, okay, I'll believe that. That kind of does sound like her.
I guess that's Raja, who Thomas Franco had mentioned before. I don't know the names of the I know a lot of the actors, but not
The character
a lot of
names.
them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Jonathan gives this episode a 3 out of 5. Donnie Pearson gives it a 10 out of 10. I feel like Donnie Pearson is going to give the entire season a 10 out of 10.
That's
Um,
okay because Lost Galaxy is cool like that.
and Thomas Franco says that non-creative episodes get a 2.5 for copy and paste of footage episodes and mixing it together for laziness. I would
That's
overall agree
just
with
Power
that.
Rangers.
Yeah, it's
That's just Power
but that
Rangers.
too.
That's the formula of the show.
So those are the 3 episodes that we're covering this week. Next week we are most likely going to be off. Corey and I will have a chat with Elle later on in the week and decide whether or not we will be free to do a holiday themed episode. Where we can watch. I don't know. Are there Christmas episodes of Power Rangers?
Too many, and I don't like any of them.
So maybe we
There's a
won't.
good samurai one. There's a
Maybe
good
maybe
samurai.
maybe maybe we can find something else to do, or maybe we'll just talk about that samurai one. Or you guys can let us know in the comments here, or on our community post with the schedule what Christmas episodes are your favorites, and if we end up being free and we are here streaming, we will we'll see. We will see you then. Corey, what do you got coming up this week? Anything to plug? Anything you're putting up online? Anything you're doing? Can people
Uh,
meet you at a bar someplace? Let us know.
no, not during the Rona times, no. But we're doing pre-production on something for my channel. It's Power Ranger related. It's gonna take me a good long time to get it done because I have to watch a lot of Power Rangers and take notes. So I'm doing that
That
to
sounds
keep
like
an eye.
something that's right up your alley, though.
Yeah, it'll keep me busy. So
For me, coming up after the Retro Ranger wrap up at 2:45 today, uh, Airlim and I will be discussing the most recent episode of Star Trek Discovery, Terra Firma Part 2, where we got some confirmation that a character that appeared last week is in fact who everyone was theorizing he was. So that's kind of exciting. Then
it's the con.
tomorrow, it is not Khan. We're not pulling a Star Trek Into Darkness. Um, but it is but it is a character from the original series. Then tomorrow night is the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order. They were off last week. I'm pretty sure they're going to be off next week too, but we will double check and let you guys know. And during the week, I don't know what else. We are currently discussing how to relaunch our Twitch channel. What we're going to be doing on there, come up with some video game streams, maybe some D&D streams. I've been itching to play for a while, and we still have the Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons game that I started with Tatiana and Daniel and Shay and Elle, and we need to finish that. And I think that might be it. I'm sure we'll have some big news dropping next week about anything from DC to Marvel to Star Trek or other random stuff. So keep an eye on the website, theilluminary.com. And we did get a few more ratings here. Donnie Pearson gives episode 39. He's saying a 9.75 out of 10. Thomas Franco says, thanks for the birthday wishes. You got it. Jonathan says that we should just choose our 3 favorites for the holiday movies, or for the Christmas movies. Donnie Pearson's going to be back for Discovery. And it looks like that's about it. So that'll do it for us for this week on the Retro Ranger wrap up. We have 2 more episodes. Well, we have 6 more episodes of the show to go, 2 more of our episodes to go. So we will be finished about 2 weeks into the new year. And then we'll be starting Power Rangers RPM. Is that right?
No, Lightspeed
No.
Rescue.
Lightspeed Rescue.
Yes,
Sure.
we can do RPM if you want.
Well, that's what. How many seasons do we have to go until RPM?
A lot. That's way into the Disney era. We skipping a lot.
All right. So so Lightspeed Rescue, we'll be starting that midway through January. We'll have a slightly new format for the show by then, and I will see you guys in about half an hour, and I'll see you, Corey, next week.
See ya.
Let me find the right button. It's gonna be the wrong
Turn it
one.
off. Are we
Okay.
still on?
Yeah, we're still on. We're still on. Now we're
Oh,
not.
well,
Bye bye.
okay.